The storm battered the cracked asphalt of a deserted street in New Orleans' French Quarter, rain sluicing through the gutters like a river of secrets, when a figure in a drenched trench coat slipped into a dive bar called the Rusty Anchor, its neon sign flickering like a dying pulse, the air inside thick with bourbon fumes and the wail of a lone saxophone, the stranger clutching a worn leather briefcase that sagged with the weight of something explosive, something that could shatter the myth of Johnny Depp, a hidden daughter, a child the world had never glimpsed, a rumor that had simmered for decades in the shadows of Hollywood's backlots and Nashville's honky-tonks, a truth now poised to break free. The bar was a haze of cigarette smoke and muted chatter, its wooden booths scarred with initials, its jukebox crooning a mournful Zydeco tune, and at a corner table sat two figures, a grizzled journalist named Hank Rollins, his gray beard streaked with bourbon stains, his eyes sharp despite the late hour, and a jittery, tattooed woman in her 50s, Rita Malone, a former tour manager for Depp's Hollywood Vampires, her hands twisting a napkin, her gaze flicking to the door as if expecting a posse of ghosts to storm in, their tension palpable as the stranger approached, the storm outside a drumroll to the revelation about to unfold. The figure shed the coat, revealing a woman in her early 40s, her face weathered but striking, her dark hair plastered to her cheeks, introducing herself as Dana Carver, a one-time personal assistant to Vanessa Paradis during her U.S. tours with Depp, her voice low and steady as she dropped the briefcase with a thud, its latch popping open, spilling a cascade of faded Polaroids, handwritten notes, and a child's drawing of a pirate ship in red crayon, saying, "I've held this for 20 years. Johnny's got a daughter nobody knows, and they've buried her deeper than a Louisiana swamp." Hank leaned in, his notebook already out, his pen trembling with the scent of a scoop that could redefine Depp's legacy, while Rita flinched, muttering, "If this hits the streets, it's a goddamn firestorm. Johnny'll skin us alive for spilling this," her drawl thick with Kentucky roots, her fingers fumbling for a cigarette, the smoke curling upward like a flare from a sinking ship, her mind racing back to nights on the road, to whispers she'd caught, to a secret she'd vowed to bury until this woman walked in with a briefcase full of dynamite, a secret that could drag Depp's private world into the harsh glare of America's spotlight. Dana's gaze darted between them, her hand steady as she slid a Polaroid across the sticky table, a blurry shot of a toddler with Depp's high cheekbones, her hair a wild mop of chestnut curls, standing on a windswept beach in Malibu, a scrawled date on the back reading, August 2004, and said, "Her name's Callie, born off the radar, hidden from everyone, even Lily Rose and Jack are in the dark." Her words a thunderclap in the bar's dim hum, Hank scribbling furiously, Rita's cigarette dropping ash. Like fallout, the weight of a bombshell settling over them, a revelation that promised to peel back the layers of Depp's life, to expose a daughter he'd shielded, or erased, from the world, a truth that could topple the Pirate King's throne if it ever broke loose. The tale Dana began to spin was a sprawling epic of love, betrayal, and a cover-up that crisscrossed America, pieced together from years of hushed confessions among insiders, roadies who'd hauled Depp's gear, stylists who'd powdered his face, lawyers who'd drafted his contracts, friends who'd shared his bourbon, each catching fleeting glimpses of a girl who didn't fit the public narrative, a child whose existence threatened the delicate balance of Depp's life with Paradis, a life already teetering between his rockstar chaos and her quiet grace, a secret so volatile it had been sealed with hush money, forged documents, and a web of silence stretching from Los Angeles to Key West, where Depp's private retreats hid more than just sunsets and rum. Hank's pen danced as Dana recounted her first brush with the truth, back in 2003, when she'd been summoned to a sprawling ranch outside Santa Fe, New Mexico, its adobe walls glowing under a desert moon, where Paradis, pregnant and fragile, had pulled her aside in a candlelit courtyard, her voice trembling as she confessed, "Johnny doesn't know yet. It's not his, but it'll be ours," a bombshell that floored Dana, who'd assumed the child was Depp's until Paradis hinted at a brief affair with a musician during one of Depp's endless tours, yet swore the baby would bear his name, a pact that launched a deception so intricate it demanded a network of loyalists to sustain, a lie that took root when Callie was born, her features a haunting echo of Depp's, a twist of fate that blurred the lines between truth and fiction, a gift or a curse depending on who held the story. Rita cut in, her voice gravelly, her memory jolted by the Polaroid, recalling a sweltering night in 2005 on Depp's yacht off the Florida Keys, the air heavy with salt and diesel, when she'd been stowing equipment after a late-night jam, spotting a nanny chasing a little girl across the deck, her laughter piercing the stillness, Her face, so like Johnny's, stopping Rita dead. Her questions deflected by a steely-eyed crewman who'd snapped, "She's nobody, drop it." But she couldn't, not when she'd later overheard Depp on the bridge, his voice a low growl into a satellite phone, barking, "Keep her out of sight. I don't care how much it takes," a fragment that stuck with her like a burr, knowing as the years piled on, the girl vanishing from the yacht, from memory, from everything, a phantom in Depp's world, a daughter the public never glimpsed, a secret she'd carried like a stone until this barstool confessional. Dana pulled a letter from the briefcase, its paper creased and stained, written in Depp's spidery handwriting, dated 2006, addressed to an unnamed woman, likely the biological mother. She speculated, begging, "She's mine in every way that counts. Don't rip her away. I'll fix this, I swear." The ink blurred with what might have been sweat or tears, a desperate plea that sketched a man grappling with a reality he couldn't fully own. A man who'd crafted a persona of wild freedom yet couldn't break free from this hidden bond. A man whose love for Lily Rose and Jack was a public anthem, yet here was proof of another, tucked in the margins, a daughter he'd fought to shield, or bury, depending on the moment, the cost, the risk, a daughter whose shadow could unravel his empire if it ever stepped into the light. Hank's mind churned, mapping a timeline. Callie born in 2004, a year after Parody's whispered admission, a time when Depp was deep in Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl reshoots, his life a blur of studios, parties, and cross-country dashes, a perfect chaos for secrets to spout. His journalists got screaming this was more than gossip. This was a saga of a man torn between his myth and his marrow. A father who might have never cradled this child yet claimed her in his soul. A mystery with gaps he burned to fill, his questions spilling out. Where was Callie now? Who was her real mother? Why the blackout? Each met with Dana's tired nod, some's guesswork, some's lost with the ones who knew. Her voice heavy with the load of partial truths, the burden of a tale she'd shouldered alone too long. Rita crushed her cigarette, her eyes shadowed as she tossed in her own shard, a memory from 2008, a dive joint in Austin, Texas, where she bumped into a strung-out sound tech who'd rigged Depp's gigs, his tongue loosened by whiskey, rambling about a kid Johnny kept off the ledger, a girl shuffled to a private school in Oregon or Montana. Nobody pinned it down. Her mother bought off, her tracks erased, the tech slurring. He's scared shitless she'll pop up, blow the whole circus apart. A terror Rita saw mirrored in Depp's face years later, at a vampire show in Vegas, when a heckler yelled something about, "Your secret kid." Depp's grin freezing, his eyes darting, his exit hasty, a chink in the facade Rita couldn't unsee, a sign the rumor had teeth, that Callie was out there, breathing, waiting, a live wire in Depp's tightly wound world. Dana fanned the Polaroids across the table, 8 now, each a snapshot of a girl growing up in obscurity, one on a tire swing with a nanny lurking, another clutching a toy guitar, her eyes Depp's eyes, a third in a snowy park, hooded and distant, the dates erratic, the places cryptic, evidence of a life pieced together in stolen moments, a life engineered to stay unseen, her voice dropping as she said. These came from a runner who didn't know what he was hauling, a guy who bailed after too many cash drops, her fingers brushing the edges, her tail threading 2 years of eavesdropped calls, veiled threats, a maid slip in a Miami hotel about Johnny's extra, a mosaic of hints pointing to a child raised in hiding, a child whose mother might have been a backup singer, a fling, a nobody, a question mark that gnawed at Dana, at Hank, at Rita, each wrestling with its meaning, its price, its silence. Hank snapped his notebook shut, his brain firing with angles, Depp's courtroom wars with Amber Heard, his loud devotion to Lily Rose and Jack, his retreat to a rumored compound in the California desert, a fortress whispered to hold more than art and solitude, wondering if Callie was there, stashed in a bunker, or long vanished, scattered across America's sprawl, his voice firm as he pressed, "Why now, Dana? What's pushing this out after 2 decades?" The bar's clock ticking past 2 a.m., the storm easing outside, the answer dangling as Dana leaned back, her eyes far off, saying, "Because I found her, 3 weeks ago, in Memphis, tending bar at a dive, 22 now, his spitting image, didn't know me, didn't know her own roots, a divination that landed like lightning, Rita coughing on her drink, Hank's pen skidding. The reality of a living Callie slicing through the fog, a daughter who'd slipped the leash, a truth no longer entombed, a reckoning Depp couldn't sidestep if it tracked him down. The bar hushed around them, the last drunk stumbling out, the bartender wiping down the counter, blind to the tempest brewing at their table, Dana pulling a final piece from the briefcase, a barred coaster from Memphis, scribbled with, Callie, call me, and a number, proof of a chance meeting that had broken her silence, her voice cracking as she said, she's out there, alive, and she deserves to know who she is. Even if Johnny's built a wall against it, a plea that struck Hank like a gut punch. His reporter's zeal clashing with a pang of humanity, Rita muttering, Jesus, if she hunts him down, it's curtains, fans, press, her'll have a field day, her dread real, her allegiance frayed, the trio staring at the coaster, at the photos, at the notes, a Pandora's box they'd pried open, a secret teetering on the brink, poised to reshape Depp Smith, to force a man who'd fled the spotlight to face a daughter he'd never owned, or maybe never knew how to own, a daughter the world never saw, stepping into view, whether he was ready or not. They sat there, the rain a faint drip now, the night thinning to dawn, Hank plotting his next steps, a flight to Memphis, a dial to that number, a story that could crown his career or crush his soul, Rita battling echoes of loyalty, her years with Depp a chain she couldn't snap, Dana unburdened at last, her briefcase empty, her truth laid bare, the bar of forge where a hidden daughter's shadow loomed larger than the man who'd cast it, a man whose pirate smirk masked a maze of anguish, a man whose desert walls might not stand if Callie ever knocked, a man whose world balanced on the edge of a revelation insiders had guarded too long, a revelation that could mend or maim, depending on who spun it, who heard it, who believed it, a story that began in whispers and might end in wars, a daughter unseen, emerging from the dark, ready to claim her place, whether Johnny Depp welcomed her or not. A legacy rewritten in the rain-soaked night of a New Orleans bar, where truth finally found its voice. As dawn bled through the grimy windows of the rusty anchor in New Orleans, the storm's last gasps fading into a humid stillness, Hank Rollins, Rita Malone, and Dana Carver sat frozen around the table, the barred coaster from Memphis, scrawled with, Callie, call me, and a number, lying like a live wire among the Polaroids, letters, and drawings, their silence heavy with the weight of a secret now unshackled, a daughter's existence poised to erupt into Johnny Depp's carefully guarded world, their next moves a tightrope walk between revelation and ruin, each grappling with the storm they'd unleashed, the bar's clock ticking toward a reckoning none could predict, the air thick with the scent of rain, bourbon, and the promise of chaos. Hank broke the quiet, his voice a gravelly whisper, proposing, we go to Memphis, find her, get her story. If she's real, this blows up everything Johnny's built, his journalist's hunger surging, his notebook already stuffed with a timeline, Callie's birth in 2004, Depp's pirate's frenzy, Parody's confession, his mind racing with headlines, exclusives, a Pulitzer glinting on the horizon, while Rita shook her head, her cigarette trembling as she countered, you don't get it, mate, if we drag her out, Johnny's done, press lead him alive, fans'll turn, it's a bloody massacre, her loyalty to Depp a fraying thread, her eyes haunted by years on the road, by the man she'd seen at his rawest, a man she couldn't betray without breaking something in herself. Dana, her face etched with exhaustion, slid the coaster toward Hank, saying, I didn't spill this to destroy him, I want her to know, to choose, she's not a pawn in your game, her tone firm, her gaze piercing, her years of silence now a crusade for Callie's truth, not Depp's downfall, her hand steady as she packed the briefcase, the Polaroids and letters vanishing back into its depths, her mission shifting from confession to confrontation. The bar a crucible where their paths diverged, Hank to hunt, Rita to shield, Dana to heal, a trinity bound by a secret, split by its weight, the dawn outside a mirror to the light they'd cast on Callie's shadow. 2 days later, Hank landed in Memphis, the Mississippi River a sluggish sprawl under a gray sky, his rental car rattling down Beale Street, the neon of blues joints flickering, his heart pounding as he dialed the number from the coaster, the line ringing 5 times before a voice answered, low, wary, unmistakably young. Yeah, who's this? His breath catching as he said, I'm Hank, a friend of Dana's. We need to talk about your past, Callie. The silence stretching, a beat, then a click, the call dead, his gut twisting as he pulled into a dive called the Gator Hole, the bar Dana had named, its windows dark, its doors swinging open to reveal a girl behind the counter, 22, her hair a cascade of curls, her face, Christ, it was Depp's face, a living echo of the man he'd seen on screens, in courtrooms, a daughter undeniable, eyes narrowing as he approached, her voice sharp, I don't know no Dana, and I ain't talking to strangers, get out, her defiance a wall, his proof a gamble he couldn't play yet, the bar's jukebox kicking on, a mournful guitar riff underscoring the standoff, the truth so close he could taste it, yet slipping through his fingers like river mud. Back in New Orleans, Rita chain-smoked on her porch, the bayou humming with crickets, her phone buzzing with a call from an old vampire's roadie, his voice urgent, words out, Rita, some hack sniffing around Johnny's past, asking about a kid, you know anything? Her stomach dropping, her loyalty warring with fear as she lied, nah, just noise, you know how it goes, her mind screaming Callie, Callie, Callie. Her hands shaking as she dialed a number she hadn't touched in years, Depp's private line, a relic from the tour days, praying he'd pick up, praying he wouldn't, the line ringing, then his voice, rough, slurred, Rita, what's the bloody emergency? Her throat tightening as she stammered, Johnny, there's talk, someone's got pics, a girl, says she's yours, they're coming for you, the silence deafening, his breath hitching, then a low, handle it, or I will, the call cutting off, her heart sinking, the man she'd known, wild, wounded, fiercely private, now a cornered animal, the storm she'd feared barreling toward them all, the bayou a witness to her dread, her betrayal, her hope he'd forgive her if it came to that. In Memphis, Hank lingered outside the Gator Hole, the night settling over Beale Street, the bar's neon buzzing, his resolve hardening as he slipped Dana's Polaroid, the toddler on the Malibu beach, under the door with a note, Callie, this is you, I can tell you who he is, his gamble a flare in the dark, his car idling as he watched, waited, the door creaking open an hour later, Callie stepping out, the photo in her hand, her eyes wet, her voice a whisper, who the hell are you, and why's this? Kid look like me, his answer slow, measured, I'm a reporter, that's you at 2, and your dad's Johnny Depp, he's hitting you your whole life, her face crumpling, her fists clenching, the bar's light catching the fury, the hurt, the dawning truth in her gaze, her world tilting as he pressed, talk to me, let me help you find him, her nod reluctant, her story spilling, raised by a single mom in Oregon, dead 5 years, no father named, whispers of a crazy actor she'd never chased, a daughter, unmoored, now tethered to a name she'd seen in movies, a name that could break her or make her whole, the night a crucible for her awakening, Hank scoop a heartbeat away, the truth a blade she'd wield or bury, her choice looming like the river beyond. Meanwhile, in California's Mojave Desert, Johnny Depp paced the sprawling compound he retreated to after the Heard trials, a fortress of adobe and steel ringed by Joshua trees, its walls lined with guitars, paintings, and shadows, his phone buzzing with Rita's warning, his mind reeling as he dug through a locked trunk, letters, photos, a child's drawing of a pirate ship, proof of Callie he'd kept, proof he'd buried, his voice a growl as he muttered, she's out there, she's found me, his hands shaking, his rum bottle empty, his memory flashing to 2004, Parody's tearful confession in Santa Fe, his vow to claim the girl, to protect her, to hide her, a vow he'd kept with money, silence, a network of trust, a vow now cracking as the past clawed free, his solitude shattered, his pirate grin a mask slipping, the compound a cage as he called his lawyer, barking, find her, stop this, I don't care how, his fear a live wire, his love a ghost, the daughter he'd never held now a storm he couldn't outrun, the desert night a witness to his unraveling, his empire teetering on the edge of her shadow. In Memphis, Callie sat with Hank in a diner off Beale, the Polaroid between them, her voice raw as she said, Mom told me my dad was a drifter, dead or gone, never said he was him, why'd he ditch me? Her question a knife, Hank piecing it out, Parody's affair, Depp's choice to claim her, the secrecy to shield his known kids, the fear of scandal, his answer halting, he didn't ditch you, he hid you, maybe to protect you, maybe himself, her eyes blazing, her decision forming, I'm going to him, I want answers, face to face, her resolve steel, Hank nodding, his story shifting from expose to reunion, the diner's fluorescent hum a backdrop to her fire, the road to California a map unfolding, the daughter unseen now a force rising, the truth a collision course set, the night a bridge to a father she'd never known, a father who'd never faced her, until now. Days later, Callie and Hank rolled into the Mojave, the desert sun a furnace, the compound's gates looming, her knock unanswered, her voice shouting, Johnny Depp, I'm Callie, your daughter, open the damn gate, the silence stretching, then a crackle, a camera swiveling, the gate creaking open, Depp emerging, haggard, hatless, his eyes hers, his voice breaking, You're real. You're here. Her fury spilling. 22 years. You left me in the dark. Why? His answer a whisper. To keep you safe. To keep them all safe. I failed you. Not them. The air electric. Her tears falling. His arms opening. Their embrace a fracture healing. Hank watching. His pen still. The story no longer his. The compound a crucible where a father and daughter met. The world beyond waiting. The insider's truth now theirs. A secret unburied. A legacy rewritten. The desert a witness to a bond forged in shadow. Now blazing in the light. Johnny Depp and Callie. Father and daughter. Found at last, whether the world accepted it or not.